Ready?
Ready.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Hey guys, welcome today. What we're going to be talking about is seek first to understand, then to be understood, by Stephen Covey in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And we're talking about 3 dynamics of motivating factors. Number 1 is emotion. With emotion, it drives you to do things that you normally wouldn't do, especially anger. Remember, there's a general named David many years ago, and he had his army and they were trying to go back home to the land of Ziklag, but home was no longer there. It was burned down. Their children are gone. Their wives are gone. Their property was gone. And what happened was his men wanted to stone him. They'd driven him to do something they wouldn't normally do. These men had normally fought with him and right beside him to help him, but this time they wouldn't. So anger drives you to do things you normally wouldn't do. I'm also thinking of a job that I had one time that was high stress, and the manager, he sure didn't help out much either. I would come home angry every night, and I had a choice on what to do with my anger. It was either to use it to exercise or be upset at my family. So anger drove me to do something that at that time I would dare not do at all.
Mommy.
Now, the next emotion we'd like to cover is love. Now, with love, it drives you towards commitment, and that's emotion as well. According to Dr. David Clark, when you dwell on your spouse's positives, 3 great things happen. 1, it will stimulate in you feelings of closeness and passion for your spouse. Number 2, it will stimulate in your spouse feelings of closeness and passion for you. And number 3, it results in passion. And that's in his book, Kiss Me Like You Mean It. Now that we looked at how emotion motivates us to do something, let's look at how principles motivate us to do other stuff as well. I'm thinking of honor and loyalty. You think of people who go off to war, our soldiers, they see horrible things and they come back, they have a time of rest and they're ready to go back out there. It's because they have honor and loyalty for their comrades out on the battlefield. The next principle is a quest for truth. Lee Strobel, a devout atheist, he decided he was going to prove the Bible wrong objectively. In his research, it's all listed in the case for truth on what he was able to find out. And then friendship. David and Jonathan, 2 close friends. David was anointed to be a king. Jonathan was a prince. But with Jonathan, it could have been a dangerous thing for him to reach out. Listen to what Sir Francis Bacon said in his essays of friendship. It is a strange thing to observe how a high rate great kings and monarchs do set upon this fruit of friendship wherever we speak, at the hazard of their own safety and greatness. Later on, Sir Francis Bacon points out that Augustus lost his throne to Agrippa, his friend. Julius Caesar lost it to his friend Brutus. And Jonathan did lose his throne to David, even though there was no deceit on the part of David. Now that we have looked how principle can motivate people to action, let's look at ego or self and how that interplays. Ego has a definite impact. In Beth Moore's book, So Long Insecurity, goodbye, old friend. You see it right here. She says in here, the self-conscious person may protect herself with plainness and try to blend into the paint. But she also may dress herself to perfection and stand squarely in the spotlight. In either portrayal or anything in between, she's only more aware of herself than she tends to be of any other person in the room. When she feels inferior or superior, she takes a frequent inventory of her place in the space. She may like it or hate it, but she's rarely oblivious to it. Never think for a moment that pride and self-centeredness have no role in insecurity. And the last portion of self, or ego, is approval. I used to work for a company that had no positive feedback. I was the top 10%, even on that site, and I wouldn't get any positive feedback from them. Well, a man by the name of Bill Hybels worked a solution out for his organization, how they could give feedback to the people, let them know how they were doing a little bit better. It was an A, B, or C system. It's pretty simple, he says. You can argue with the approach, but you can't argue with the fact that it is clear. A means you're excellent, you're exceeding expectations. B means good, and C means improvement is needed soon. Bill Hybels' solution for making people know where they stood It was amazing. His book's name was Axiom. In conclusion, now that we understand some of the motivations of people, how it causes them to act, and the dynamics of emotion, principles, and egos, we're able to decide what we will let to propel us into life's future, and how that will help us in directing other people as well on life's journey in a healthy way. Thank you.